بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وآله الطيبين الطاهرين. We continue our discussion on Ijtihad wa al-Taqlid from the book Usul al-Istinbat. After giving the meaning of Ijtihad and saying that we have two types of Ijtihad, mutlaq and mutajazzi, then we talked about Taqlid. And we said that it's possible to do Taqlid, and for those who don't have ability of Ijtihad and don't want to do Ihtiyat, it becomes wajib to do Taqlid. And we mentioned Hadith, but also we said that this is, in addition to the Hadith, it's something that you find in Sirah Uqala. Now, there is a question. Do we need to refer to the most knowledgeable mujtahid, which we call a'lam, or we can refer to any mujtahid? Okay? So the question is taqlid of a'lam necessary, or we can do taqlid of any mujtahid? Or some people have made a distinction, tafsil. They have made a distinction. They said, if you don't know there is a'lam, you can follow anyone. But if you know there is a'lam, you have to try to find a'lam and follow him. Or if you don't know a'lam and you know that there is difference in their fatwa. Again, you know who is a'lam, but you know there is a'lam and you know they have differences of fatwa. You have to go and find out. In other words, if you think that maybe there is no a'lam or maybe their fatwas are the same, no need to find out. But if you know there is a'lam and their fatwas are partially different, you have no justification to follow the one who is not most knowledgeable. So there are three different positions here. حول تقليد الأعلام. This section is about following the most knowledgeable. اختلف العلماء في وجوب تقليد الأفضل علما وعدمه على أقوال. Ulama have differences of opinions about necessity of following who is afdal, who is most qualified, ilman, in knowledge. Okay, instead of saying a'lam, he says afdalu ilman, because in some of the discussions later, we have this issue of fadil and mafdul. Taqdeemul fadil ala al-mafdul wal mafdul ala al-fadil. So, with respect to the necessity of following the one who is most knowledgeable, there are different opinions. منها وجوب تقليد الأفضل مطلقا ووجوب الفحص عنه. One opinion is that you must always follow a'lam and you must investigate. Fahs means search, investigation. So you have to find out who is a'lam and follow him. Okay? It's not just you wait and if you know that someone is a'lam, you follow him. You have to look for a'lam and find a'lam and follow him. The second opinion is عدم وجوب ذلك مطلقا. You never need to follow a'lam. بل يتخير بين الأفضل والفاضل. You can follow the best, you can follow someone who is good, you can follow most knowledgeable mujtahid, or you can follow less knowledgeable mujtahid. ولكن تقليد afdal, afdal. Of course, it's better to follow a'lam, but it's not necessary. Actually, this is the position of the writer. Yes. This writer is different from most of ulama. Most of ulama say taqlid a'lam is wajib. But this writer argues a lot that taqlid a'lam is not wajib. You can do taqlid of someone who is not alim. The third opinion, we were saying wujub taqlid al-a'lam mutlaqa or adam wujub taqlid al-a'lam mutlaqa. I told you sometime, in these books, when you say mutlaqa, you must be waiting for a kind of tafsil which comes later. When someone says always follow a'lam, someone says you don't need to follow a'lam mutlaqa, it's all referring to the tafsil that comes later. So the third opinion is tafsil, distinction. So they say, if you know that there is a'lam, and you know that their fatwas are different, you have to go and find a'lam and follow. منها وجوب تقليد الأفضل مع العلم به عينان والفحص عنه مع العلم به إجمالا إذا علم بالاختلاف بينه وبين المفضول في الفتاوى تفصيلا أو إجمالا. This sentence might be difficult. In Risala also sometimes you find. So please listen carefully. Necessity of following afdal, not all the time. It's different from the first opinion. The first was always you have to find the a'lam and follow him. But this is the third position. He says, وجوب تقليد الأفضل. You have to follow a'lam مع العلم به عينا. If you know there is a'lam, you have to follow him. If you know ijmalan there is a'lam, but you don't know which one, you have to do fahs. Means search, investigation. So sometimes you know a'lam aynan, means particularly, specifically, you know this person is a'lam, you have to follow him. Sometimes you don't know specifically he is a'lam, but you know among them there is a'lam. Ijmalan, you know there is a'lam. One of these people is more knowledgeable. If you don't know al-fahsu an, you have to do fahs of a'lam. You search to find a'lam ma'al ilm bihi ijmalan. If you ijmalan know there is a'lam, and also you know ijmalan that the fatwa are different. So if you know there is a'lam and fatwa are different, so you don't have hujjah to ignore a'lam. You have to go and find out a'lam. But if you don't know there is a'lam, or you don't know that the fatwa are different, then you don't need to follow a'lam. Yes.
You mean the first one? وجوب تقليد الأول مطلقا ووجوب الفحص عنه.
Now, مع العلم به عينان. This is for the time that you know. You don't need fahs. You know a'lam. This is one option. If you know specifically that Mr. A is a'lam, you have to follow him.
By what? By fahs or by the general?
No, you know. You don't need fahs. You have already come to this conclusion that he is a'lam. But sometimes you don't know. Okay? Then you have to do fahs. But when fahs is necessary, when you know ijmalan that there is one person who is a'lam, because if you think that maybe they are equal, then you don't need to look for a'lam to find out. But if you know that there is a'lam, and you know that fatwa are not the same, this ilm ijmali brings responsibility. You have to find out who is a'lam. So, وجوب تقليد الأفضل مع العلم به عينان. This is one option, one scenario for وجوب تقليد الأعلم. And also the second is الفحص عن, means وجوب فحص عن الأعلم مع العلم به إجمالا. You know there is أعلم, and you know that there is اختلاف in fatawa. Either you know اختلافات in fatwa تفصيلا. For example, you know that these ulama in this masala about Eid, this masala about khums, they have differences of opinion. Or you don't know which masala, but you have just come to note that their fatwas are not the same. Like us today. We can be always sure that you don't find any mujtahid whose fatwas are 100% the same. Sometime in the past, they say there were exceptional cases that they had the same opinion. For example, they say Ayatollah Sayyid Muhammad Taqi Khunsari, I think he and one of his friends, they had similar fatwas in all masail. But it's very unlikely. Maybe because they always discussed everything together, or it's very difficult because even teacher and student, their fatwas are not 100% the same. Although there can be similarities. For example, those who study with Ayatollah Khoui, sometimes there are similarities, but not 100%. So in our age, we know that fatwas are different, and also it seems very rational that you cannot say they are equal. There must be someone who is a'lam. Yeah? So, if you know ijmalan that someone is a'lam and fatwa are not the same, you have to go and find out who is a'lam.
There's one thing that I've been told, that there's some hadith. I was told this one when Ali Sharif Devji, it says in a hadith somewhere which says,
Thank you.
when the marja comes to lead people, even if it's coming from the ice and it'll be from home, you should follow him. And he was saying that marja was Imam Khomeini at the time, he was coming. So you should all follow him. Now I have not heard this hadith anywhere else, but he told me about it. Can you confirm it, please?
I didn't understand.
You see, when Ali told me a hadith, I think he got it from one of those books that he was reading all the time, with Ali himself. And he said, there will be a time when somebody will come from Qum, but he will be coming from ice.
From ice?
And from ice. And you should all follow him. And Imam Khomeini came, which was winter in Paris.
So
this is what he told me.
I don't remember. We have...
Which hadith is? I
don't know.
Some Sunni sources, actually.
We have hadith about, for example, someone coming from Qom. يجتمع معه قوم كالزبر الحديد. There are hadiths like this which some people have applied to Islamic revolution, but that one I haven't heard. Maybe there is there, but I haven't heard. But these hadiths are also at the same time that they may look very much compatible with one context or one person, but it's very difficult to be sure and say definitely this refers to this person or this time, So we can take it as a possibility. Okay. وجوب تقليد الأفضل مع العلم به عينان. If you know A'lam, you have to follow him. Or al-fahs an, you have to do fahs, search to find A'lam when you know ijmalan that one of them is more knowledgeable, and also you know that their fatwas are different. Either you know ijmalan or you know tafsilan which fatwa are different. Okay? Like today. As I said, today we know that fatwas are not the same. And also it seems we can be rationally sure that there must be one person among them who is a'lam. Yeah, it seems it's very difficult to say they are equal. If you say, I can believe that they are equal, that's fine. But it seems very unlikely two people being exactly at the same level of knowledge. Yes, maybe we are not able to distinguish. Sometimes two people are at such a high level of knowledge that for us, maybe it's difficult to say who is more knowledgeable. But I think in the reality, it's very difficult to say two people are exactly the same in their level of knowledge. Yes.
Is it possible, for example, for one person to be classified as perhaps more knowledgeable in mu'amalat?
Yes.
And the other to be more knowledgeable in ibadat?
Yeah.
So in this case, who is the more knowledgeable one in general?
Yeah. Then you may do distinction. In every section of fiqh, you follow the one who is most knowledgeable in that section. Yes. So, إذا علم بالاختلاف بينه وبين المفضول في الفتاوى. If we know there is a'lam and we know that there is difference of opinion between a'lam and the one who is not a'lam, either we know ikhtilaf fatwa tafsilan, means we know which fatwas are different, or we know ijmalan, some of fatwa are different. وَيَتَخَيَّرْ إِذَا لَمْ يَعْلَمِ التَّفَاضُلِ. But if he doesn't know that there is difference, we don't know there is a'lam, maybe they are the same. Or لَمْ يَعْلَمِ الْإِخْتِلَافِ بَيْنَهُمَا. Or he knows there is a'lam, but he doesn't know that they have difference of fatwas. Okay? إما مع العلم بالأول والشك في الثاني أو العكس. Either knows the first and doesn't know the second, means knows there is a'lam, doesn't know ikhtilaf of fatwa, or knows the second and has doubt about the first. So either he doesn't know there is a'lam but knows fatwa are different, or knows there is a'lam but doesn't know the fatwa are different. In both cases, فهل يتخير وجهان بل قولان ظاهران. So there are two opinions here. It seems that there is possibility of saying that he doesn't need to follow a'lam in this case. So after mentioning these opinions, the author says هذه المسألة, we mean تقليد الأفضل تقليد الأعلم, هي معركة الآراء. It's one of the cases that we have very different but strong also positions. Sometimes positions are also very strong. So someone says, no, it must be a'lam. Some say, it doesn't need to be a'lam. So, هذه المسألة أي تقليد الأفضل هي معركة الآراء بين العلماء. Ulama have different opinions. والأقرب منها هو الثاني. The author says what seems to be nearer to the truth is the second. And as I said, he is in minority. Majority of ulama say the first or the third. Actually, the third and the first becomes the same, because nowadays we know there is a'lam and there are different opinions. So it becomes like the first. The majority say you must do taqlid a'lam, or at least they say it ihtiyat wajib. Okay? So we have to discuss what's the argument for each side. But what is very clear is that if you do taqlid of a'lam, definitely you have no problem. So if you want to be on this, because no one says you must not do taqlid a'lam. Yeah? No one says you must not do taqlid. So if you do taqlid a'lam, you are on the safe side. And because this issue is something that you cannot listen to someone who is not a'lam when he says taqlid a'lam is not necessary. So either you have to do ihtiyat, or you have to find out a'lam and ask him whether I can follow non-a'lam or not. Do you get my position? So either you follow a'lam, or you ask a'lam whether I need to follow a'lam or I can follow the one who is not a'lam. Because this mas'ala is not clear, you are not yourself a mujtahid, and you cannot also ask non-a'lam. Okay? So, we are scholarly discussing this issue, but in practice, we have to refer to a'lam, or just follow a'lam. Either follow a'lam or refer to a'lam, ask him, what should I do? Yes.
So just to follow up on this, two questions I had was, in our riwayat, is there any clear indication that suggests that you
we will
follow
discuss.
a'lam?
We will discuss.
Number two was, in history, like the hadith that we just went through, people would refer to the people of their village perhaps. For example, Muhammad ibn Muslim is a Yunus ibn Abdurrahman, someone who is available, someone who fulfills the need. In that time it wasn't seen as a major issue.
So both sides have interesting arguments. So those who say taqlid of a'lam is not necessary actually mention the same thing. They say in our ahadith, when they refer to their narrators, to their companions, they don't say refer to the a'lam. Or this was actually the time that Imam himself was available. And for sure Imam is more knowledgeable than them. Yeah, but Imam didn't say you should always come and ask us questions, or if you have access, come and ask question. If you don't have access, go to a'lam. So it seems, this is what they say, that what we understand from Ahlul Bayt is, if someone is a reliable scholar, you can refer to him. He doesn't need to be the best or a'la. The same way that in our worldly life, if you want to make a house, you go for an architect or a designer or engineer. Do you always go to the best? Even when you want to go to doctor, you don't go to the best. Yes, if there is an issue of life and death, and there is a big risk, here you try to find who is the most knowledgeable doctor. Yeah? But most of the 99% of the time we go to any person that we know is a qualified doctor.
Whoever's local, anyone who's near.
Yeah, it's not necessary to be near, but you go to someone who's qualified. If it's near, you go to near one.
Accessible, yeah.
Yeah. So, they say, Bina'ul uqalla seems not to be to go to the a'la, unless it's a serious issue. Our ahadith also seem to suggest that you can go to the local scholars, and imams encourage them to go to Zakaria ibn Adam, Yunus ibn Abdul Rahman, Abu Basir. Imams themselves also were available. So this is one side. But the other side says, actually, we have some hadith also that we should refer to a'lam, and the most knowledgeable person. But then there is discussion about sanad of those ahadith, and also whether they are about faqih or they are about imam, someone who wants to lead the society. because maybe for leader of the society, a'lamiyya is needed. But for marja, maybe not. So we have to discuss all these issues. It's not easy issue. But as I said, to be on the safe side, you always follow a'lam. Yeah, to be on the safe side. Or ask a'lam and say, do I have permission to follow non-a'lam or not? If a'lam says yes, then perhaps it's okay. So, look at the argument of the author. The author says it's not necessary to be a'lam. He says, Hujjatuna ala dhalik. Our hujjah, our proof for the second opinion. أولا إن التقليد لما كان من باب الرجوع إلى أهل الخبرة. Taqlid is a rational thing. All uqala refer to experts. Those who are not experts, they refer to experts. فلا إلزام عقلا وعرفا في هذا الباب بالرجوع إلى الأفضل. We act like uqala. Uqala refer to the experts. They don't refer to the most qualified expert. ولذلك لا ترى العقلاء يقبحون الرجوع إلى غيره. You don't find uqala saying, blaming you. Taqbih means to blame, to say this is immoral. If you refer to غيره, غيره means what? غير الأفضل. غير الأفضل. فمن عمر دارا على رأي معمار يوجد أعرف منه بالعمارة لا يفند رأيه أحد. لا يفند رأيه أحد. If someone develops a house, builds a house according to the opinion of a builder who is not the best, people don't say why you did this. You must bring the best. Or man istajara najjaran mutawassitan. Average carpenter. He seeks the opinion of he wants to make a cupboard or drawer at home, and he brings the opinion of someone who is average. They don't blame him. بل حتى في الأمور المهمة, not only building and carpenter, even in important affairs. نرى العقلاء يرجعون إلى المفضول بلا نكير. They go to the second most qualified, third most qualified, without anyone doing objection. No one objects. كالرجوع إلى سائر الأطباء. In the issue of health, people refer to the doctors, physicians who are not the best. مع وجود واحد أعلم منهم. Although there are in that town, there is one who is better than these, for example, doctors, but they say no problem, you can go to any doctor. وعلى ذلك جرى إطباق العقلاء. And in the same practice has always been ijma, consensus of uqala. Yes, الرجوع إلى الأفضل عندهم أفضل. Yes, uqala say it's better to go to the most qualified. But they don't say you must go to the most qualified. Then he says, what about then the issue of imamah? فإن قلت فكيف منعتم من تقديم المفضول على الفاضل في باب الإمامة. So why in imamah you said when we have the best we cannot have the second best? Yeah? ما الفرق بينه وبين باب التقليد? What's the difference between imam and marja'? قلت الفرق بينهما عظيم. There's a big difference between Imam and Marja. Because he says Imam is the one who wants to run all the affairs. رئاسة عامة في أمور الدين والدنيا. Imam should have comprehensive leadership in all religious affairs and worldly affairs. He has to have a position that all people follow him in their religiosity, in their spirituality, in their politics. Okay? That's a very high position. How can you say to someone who is better than Imam, you follow this Imam, if there is someone better than him? Actually, inshallah, I will read for you from another book. We have many hadiths that in our society we should give position of leadership to the best people. Let alone imamah, which is a divine position. Okay? Allah would not give the position to someone who is not the best. But even ourselves, whenever we want to choose a leader, we should find the best. It's wrong for us, and it's also wrong for the person who knows that he's not the best to undertake this position. So, he says, الفرق بينهما عظيم فإن هذا الباب. In our discussion about Taqlid, إنما يحتاج المكلف فيه إلى التقليد في عمل نفسه فحسب. Only his own actions he need to follow someone. لمعرفة الحكم. He has to know what is his wazifa, what is his ruling. وَقُلُّ كُلُّ فَقِيهٍ عَالِمٍ بِالْحُكْمِ حُجَّةٍ. Any faqih who knows the hukm, his opinion is hujjah, according to him. أما باب الإمامة فيحتاج إلى إمام واحد يكون هو الرأس. Imamah, we need one person. We cannot have different imams. Yeah? We can have different mujtahids, but we cannot have different imam. We have one imam on the top. الرئيس القابض على أزمة أمور الدين والدنيا or dunya والدين. He has all the religious and worldly affairs under his control. وَيَجِبُ مُبَايَعَتُهُ وَطَاعَتُهُ عَلَى جَمِيعِ النَّاسِ. All people have to follow him and pay allegiance to him. فَكَيْفَ لَا يَكُونُ أَفْضَلَهُمْ. So how can Imam not be the best? And if he is the second or the third or someone anyway come later, كَيْفَ يُلْزَمُ الْأَفْضَلِ بِمُتَابَعَتِهِ وَمُبَايَعَتِهِ وَالْإِنْقِيَادِ لَهُ. How can then we force and expect the best person, the most qualified person, to follow the one who is not the best? ما أن الأفضل يرى أن المفضول لم يصل إلى الأحكام. The one who is most qualified knows that this person has not reached the truth and the maslahah. So you say, follow someone who you know that has not understood the truth. وَعَلَى كُلٍّ فَالْفُرُوقُ كَثِيرَةٌ وَاضِحَةٌ. The difference is big. Plus, we have many adilli and naqli, many transmitted, means like hadith, that make it very clear, and they don't need too much discussion, that in imamah we should go to the best, to the most knowledgeable. Okay, this was the first argument. Inshallah, we study his second argument. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen.